This is Anatomy of Success, and I'm your host, Steve Willenhouse. Welcome. This week's 7 steps to preventing self-sabotage. That's the topic of conversation this week. We're glad you joined us. Let's get started. Welcome back. Again, I'm Steve Willenhouse, your host here at Anatomy of Success. And every week we dive into a variety of different topics as it pertains to improving our quality of life, gaining greater wealth, improving our physical, mental, spiritual fitness, and enhancing our relationships. This week we're going to talk about self-sabotage, which of course can interfere with any, if not all, of those efforts. So please subscribe to the podcast, follow us here on YouTube, hit follow along. And of course, if you do, listen to the podcast, whether it's on iTunes or Spotify. We always appreciate you rating and reviewing the podcast so that we can get some valuable feedback for future episodes. Stop by weatherology.com, by the way. That's my company page. You'll find me under About Us at the top of that page, links to my social media accounts, and I hope you follow along there as well. The inner critic is a powerful adversary that's capable of inflicting irreparable harm on our ambitions. It's a battle between our conscious and subconscious mind. The conscious mind understands the importance of better habits, mindset, discipline, working hard. The subconscious mind works relentlessly, though, to convince us shortcuts and bad decisions are the better alternative. The subconscious mind has good intentions. It's designed to prevent pain and manage fear. It worked great when we were preyed upon by dinosaurs, but hasn't adapted very well to modern challenges, which are largely imagined, by the way. So how can we release the power of our conscious mind? Here's 7 steps to preventing self-sabotage. The knowledge. Many of us have adopted self-destructive behaviors that nullify any attempt to embrace better habits. These mental obstacles prevent success and impede happiness, and most of us don't even realize what's happening. Self-sabotage occurs when these mental barriers inhibit success by keeping us from achieving our goals. We play it safe. We miss obvious opportunities. We fail to recognize what's hurting us. Awareness, though, is the first step toward having a major breakthrough. The signs. The first step toward breaking the cycle is to recognize some common signs. Procrastination, negative self-talk, and perfectionism are warning signs that the self-critic is flexing its mental muscle. Instead of getting things done, we put things off. Instead of speaking to ourselves with love and compassion, we castigate ourselves with impunity. Instead of realizing a job well done is better than perfection, we strive to be perfect at the expense of even getting started. The cause. Many of us embrace unhealthy methods of coping with stress. Self-care suffers as we espouse the easy alternative to exercise, discipline, positive self-talk. In addition, we react to situations and allow stress levels to increase. Instead, we recognize the patterns and we start to appreciate that mindset is producing a low sense of self-worth. We don't let those negative thoughts limit ourselves by those self-imposed barriers. We have to move in a different direction consistent with reprogramming our brain. The process. It takes effort and commitment to appreciate the impact of the subconscious mind. Gaining deeper insight into the destructive patterns will help us institute better habits that regulate that insidious tendency. Be careful contemplating our choices, make more wise decisions, and act in a way that's more consistent with controlling our subconscious brain. In the process, we learn to institute more permanent changes consistent with transformation. The voice within. For many people, fear is driven by a damaging internal discourse that leads to bad decisions. We believe the inner critic and lend credibility to its incessant outcry. We aren't good enough. We believe we don't deserve happiness or success and fail to try because we fear failure. Recognizing this unhealthy exchange and starting to treat ourselves with love and compassion cultivates a new and promising voice of confidence, affirmation, and hope. The change. Awareness and practicing the process leads to fundamental change. Triggers and patterns of predictable self-sabotage is a great place to start. If you want to rededicate yourself to better health, we got to start creating new habits that promote living a healthier lifestyle. Pick one thing at a time and start the process of making permanent change. Don't worry about running a marathon before you run around the block a few times. Small steps matter. When the goal is too ominous, it's easy to get discouraged and the goal becomes incapable of materializing. The plan. Uncertainty can hurl good intentions into disarray. Fear of the unknown can be debilitating and inhibit our progress. When we stumble, those setbacks make us feel incompetent, incapable. The best way to push through those hurdles? Devise a plan. Concrete plans are required for progress in life, and we must be adamant about adhering to our strategy. Having a plan gives us a roadmap of action, one step at a time, and we can start to obliterate self-sabotage. Hope you found this conversation today about self-sabotage enlightening. The subconscious brain is a very nefarious adversary, and we can learn how to domesticate its tendencies, and I think these tips today can help move us in that direction of greater clarity. If you would, please rate, review the podcast. We appreciate your feedback. Thanks for joining us this week. I'm Steve Willenhouse, and this has been Anatomy of Success. Join us next week. Until then, let's stay focused, let's stay positive, and let's stay optimistic.